This is the boat I use for going to the lake. And for going on more skinny water, like the river, instead of using a kayak, which I had, I'm now using this little Jon boat. It's a little light Jon boat. It's a light Jon boat. It's about 107 pounds. It's a little low 1240, and it's got a Mercury 9.9 on it. I was going to get the electric start, but decided not to. They didn't have them in stock actually at the time, and I wanted to get the thing. These are some of the things that I did on it. I put on these for backing it up. I put these trailer type guide things and put some lights on them for at night, because I do take it out at night. And, oh, put a transducer back here for the fish finder. Put a little navigation light thing on the back. Bilge pump. Put a cleat there. Put a cleat here. Did put all the wires either through the boat or through PVC. And then, because these seats get hot in the summer in Tennessee, and so I put some of that type of padding on them. This is the mount for the fish finder. The cheapest thing, and seemed most reasonable to me for the flooring, are these stall mats that I put in. These are like the 3/4 inch, I don't know what they are, but there's like 1 1/4 inch ones that are bigger and heavier. These are heavy too, but it kind of like distributes the weight and kind of makes it pretty stable, the boat. I hated to add the weight because I'm trying to get a kayak effect with the little Jon boat, being able to go out and into pretty skinny water, you know. There's a paddle there because I want to be able to lift up the motors. Sometimes the water gets so shallow and it's rocky in the rivers around here. So I've got the paddle there that allows me to lift up the motors and paddle. And this is the front part. This is the mount for this trolling motor. You know, this is a stern mount trolling motor. So to put it on the bow, you know, you have to take that apart and turn the handle around so that it comes into the boat, faces into the boat and faces the right way. It takes about a minute or two to do that. And then it's kind of hard to mount it because of how this is built on the bow, the way the bow's made on these boats. It's not really great to put a trolling motor on. So I just built this thing on my own. Like the guy said, hold my beer while I get out some glue. I didn't use glue really. I used, but it was a funny comment that someone gave me on another video. But I used deck screws and tried to use stainless, but some of the stainless wood screws that I got broke. They were really not strong. I ended up using a lot of deck screws, and that's actually decking type brackets. So, and it's all pressure treated. And then for all the lights and everything, I put lights on. I put a little, there's a little control for the lights. And here, this one here is for one of the big light here. It has a relay and everything on it. So I built that little bracket for it. And that's a lithium battery. This trolling motor is, so I put lights on it, you know, and it's got navigation lights in the front. There's the red and the green. And I've got this one here. I've got a light for this that made this little thing. I did everything out of wood because I'm really not good with metal. I don't weld or anything. And this is the light that goes with that. And just trying to make something like a kayak, but with a light Jon boat that I can move around and whatnot. And this is the little Minn Kota. And underneath this stall mat is that firm insulation, you know, that's in sheets at Home Depot. It's under here. I painted some of it so it wouldn't just be pink or whatever. But it's pretty sturdy, you know. It's closed cell and it's pretty damn sturdy. You can walk on this stuff. I could walk on it. It doesn't break. But it's so light. And then the stall mat is kind of heavy, but I didn't get the thickest one. Got that at Tractor Supply. And you know, put a seat on it, lithium battery, decent little trolling motor, nothing expensive, you know, $200-300, and wired everything up. And these are for my navigation lights and whatnot, and bilge pump, and this is for this light because it had a relay and everything with it, so I figured I might as well install it as it came. Then I've got some quick disconnects. I've got quick disconnects on the battery for both the auxiliary stuff and for the auxiliary and for the trolling motor. And of course I put a little fuse type of thing for the trolling motor. Everything's fused underneath here. I just put the inline fuses. And this is another. And that's it. It works pretty good in the thin water. You can get right down to where you have to lift both motors and then use the paddle, you know. And there goes the dog, because I've lived there 3 years and this dog doesn't seem to know me. I can give it biscuits or whatever, but they've got 2 dogs and it'll never know me, I guess, which is fine. They're really good people and the dogs are good dogs, so I'm happy about all that. So that's the boat. And I did this in order not to be messing around with kayaks anymore. I had kayaks and I didn't like them because I like to be able to move from front to back, and on the kayak I don't think you can easily move from front to back. You know, you have to kind of stay where you are. I mean, you can get up. There goes the dog. You can't win. You can't win. They act like they don't know me. I've only been here 3 years. But anyway, you got to have the dogs. But instead of using a kayak, I use this. And like I say, I can lift both motors and get in really thin water and paddle if I have to, or kind of push around with, you know, one of those poles. Oh, I put a foot thing on this too, which is really nice. I put a foot control for the trolling motor, which is really nice. All that does is interrupt the negative side of the battery. That's all it is. And you push it down, it's sweet. And you can put, it has a little thing, you can hold it down to keep it going, but to keep it continuous. But you just control it, because they say these things burn out, and plus it's a lot easier to just, you know, it's just a cheap little foot pedal, you know. That way you kind of have the best of both worlds, you know. So that's it. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Closed cell insulation underneath. Closed cell insulation, that's firm insulation that comes in sheets, or underneath here, and then the stall mat. And it adds a little weight, you know. I have to say it'll add, I don't know if it adds 30 pounds or something to it, or 40 pounds, these two things, but it gives it some stability because it's spread out nicely. All right, that's my answer to not having a kayak. I had a couple kayaks, but I just didn't like the fact that I couldn't move around in them that well. Now the thing about this, because it's on a trailer, it's not as portable as a kayak, in the sense you can't just easily drag it anywhere. So the kayaks still beat it on that. But with everything else, as far as comfort, it's only, you know, it's 12 feet, 40 wide. It's really a great little boat. The Lowe 1240, it's a nice little boat.